So what's going on guys, Kades here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you the best barbarian build and leveling guide in Diablo Immortal. So at the start I will explain how to play this class, then we will look into the best skills and attributes that you want to use until you reach level 60, then later we will go over the leveling guide and what gems you want to use on your gear, and then lastly I will show you the best gameplay, so you would know how to get out your abilities, the best damage possible and much more. So if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So Barbarian is a savage fighter class that uses brutal attacks to crush his enemies. His cool abilities to wipe out hordes of enemies with AoE attacks make him a great choice for leveling and farming. The Barbarian is an aggressive class that is constantly getting up close and personal to deliver devastating attacks. Barbarian has many different skills that have good crowd control effects, which gives you the ability to pin down your enemies 24/7. And on top of being one of the best solo player classes, the Barbarian has some of the best group buffs in the game. So at the endgame as Barbarian you can find the best legendary items, which could be the Swift Leg Armor that gives increased movement speed for your teammates, or this Battle Master's Helmet that gives you and your party members plus 25% damage increase and much more. So then let's move over to the best skills and I will give you 3 different builds for when you reach level 8, level 15 and level 50. So the best starter build at level 8 is to have Lacerate, Cleave, Hammer of the Ancients, Chain Spear and Whirlwind. The first skill is called Lacerate, and this is your basic attacks that deal damage, and every third hit it will heal you for 15% of the damage done. And then plus you get an ultimate skill called Blood and Rage. So when your ultimate bar is at full, you can activate the ultimate and receive 20% healing for each attack. And on top of that you can also gain a shield that absorbs damage equal to 20% of your max health. So all around this is amazing primary skill that provides great damage and consistent healing between your other skills. The ultimate ability can heal you to full quickly when a lot of enemies are nearby, so you can easily level without having to worry about your HP. Then the second skill is called Cleave, and this does a powerful attack that deals damage to all enemies in front of you. And then most importantly, each attack makes the enemy bleed, which will be doing even more damage over time. So overall this is one of the best Barbarian single target damage skills in the game. Then the third skill is called Hammer of the Ancients, and this gives your Berserker a hammer that smashes the enemies in front of you, dealing additional damage over the next 2 seconds. Overall this ability does huge AoE damage and should be used after grouping up a bunch of monsters. Then the fourth skill is called Chain Spear, which makes your character activate 3 spears that deal damage, then those spears come back dragging enemies closer to you, while dealing additional damage. This ability will help to gather the monsters in a small group, but later we will replace this one for better mobility. And then lastly, the fifth skill is called Whirlwind, and this ability will make you spin in all directions while doing bunch of AoE damage. This is one of the best skills that basically every single Berserker uses for a spin to win playstyle. So then moving over to the next milestone, which is the level 15. And at this level we will still want to use the same build, but just this time we want to switch the Chain Spear skill for a sprint ability. So sprint will increase our movement speed by 50%, while at the same time making us immune to all stunts. We want to replace the skill instead of the Chain Spear because he has pretty low cooldowns, and this will help us in traveling faster from quest to quest, while at the same time it will be easier for us to escape the enemy attacks. And then lastly, when we reach level 50, we want to switch out Cleave ability for the Wrath of the Berserker. So when we activate the Wrath of Berserker, it increases our attack speed by 50% and movement speed by 20% for the next 6.5 seconds. So overall this skill is a great buff for more attack and movement speed. Attack speed increases your whirlwind speed, which in turn boosts your DPS. And of course more movement speed gives you the ability to level even faster. So then let's go over to the best Barbarian attributes. And in general, while you're leveling and playing the game, you will find equipment. My recommendation is to never leave a single item on the floor, so pick up everything and the stuff that you don't need, just salvage for more materials. So at the start you will encounter white, blue, yellow and orange items. As you can tell, white items are the worst quality and orange aka the legendary items are the best. So as you level, you want to go from white to blue to yellow and then lastly to full legendary. The way you build attributes and stats for your class is by equipping gear with the specific attributes that you want to have. So in total, there are 5 primary attributes in the game. All of them provide one offensive and defensive rating for each point you have. So if you equip any attribute, that will make you stronger. But these attributes are not equally calculated for each class. So Barbarian will get more damage out of strength, while Wizard will get more out of intelligence and much more. So the main attribute that you want to get for Barbarian is strength, and then secondary attribute is fortitude. The way you want to do this is by using equipment that has either way strength or fortitude. And for your weapon, you first of all want to prioritize how much damage it does, and then secondary the attribute. And then lastly, another way to get more powerful is by upgrading your equipment. So what you want to do is go to the blacksmith and spend all of your salvage materials. Don't worry about wasting materials upgrading bad equipment, because you can transfer upgrades for free. Even if you end up salvaging upgraded equipment, you receive 100% of the invested resources as a refund. So every time that you are in a town, remember to come back to the blacksmith and upgrade all of your yellow and orange equipment to at least rank 6. So then moving over to the gems, and you can find normal and legendary gems to further increase the power of your character. So during your leveling process, simply equip normal gems that you find from hidden layers, prioritizing red aka the ruby gems that will give you more life, and then the blue gems aka the sapphire for armor penetration, and then lastly the third decent option is to use pink gems aka the tourmaline, which will give you just extra damage, but usually just flat damage increase doesn't give you that much, so you want to prioritize the other 2 gems first. And then lastly, for the second category, we have the legendary gems, which I would recommend to only use for the best gear that you have, and of course after level 60. So a good starter legendary gem is the trick shot gem, which will allows you to channel whirlwind skill longer, especially when ranked up and awakened. This is the best 1-star legendary gem for a barbarian. Then everlasting torment gem that deals incredible damage over time after a critical hit. For a simple 1-star legendary gem, it's very powerful. And then lastly, the third best starter gem is the lightning core that does direct damage to enemy groups, often wiping them out in process. While the damage is infrequent, it's useful for taking down larger targets. So then let's move over to the leveling guide, and in Diablo Immortal, leveling up is a journey that you can approach with your own playstyle. So the primary way that you level is by going through the main storyline and completing each and every zone's quest. Once you reach a new area, you may encounter a message that says you must reach level X before you continue. So then from here, there are 2 ways that you can level. The best way to level up, not counting the main quests and storyline, is to advance your battle pass. 2 ways that you can do that is by running dungeons efficiently without having to stop and only salvaging items when your bag is at full. Or then the second best way is to go to open world and kill monsters / complete tasks. And these hidden layers are random caves that can pop up while you're leveling, so you can finish them for easy extra rewards and experience. So then let's go over a few tips and tricks that you need to keep in mind while leveling. Early on in the battle pass, you can choose 1 legendary for your class. I recommend taking the Remembered, since it buffs Hammer of the Ancients for your barbarian build. But don't stop here, because the battle pass in Diablo Immortal is very important, so try to advance to the next battle pass levels as much as you can. Then remember to find better equipment for your character. Your bag flashes up when you pick better equipment, so keep an eye for that while leveling. Then as well, keep upgrading your equipment at the blacksmith. I recommend to turn on auto pick for all items in the settings, and once in a while return to town to salvage. Then don't forget to unlock whirlwind and sprint abilities by level 15. This will give you one of the best skills for solo leveling that you need. And then lastly, you want to unlock Reliquary at level 41. The Reliquary is a unique addition to Diablo Immortal. It's a great source of offensive and defensive rating increase that becomes very important after level 60. So around level 41, you should be able to unlock it, and you want to do this so you can start receiving Scoria resource as soon as possible from your daily bounties. So as this is a barbarian guide till only level 60, I will end the video at this last feature, which is the paragon system. So you start gaining paragon levels after hitting level 60. Each level grants 1 paragon point that you can allocate into any open category. In total there are 5 categories, and each one gives you more defense, XP bonuses and much more. So then for your barbarian, right after you reach max level and start gaining paragon levels, you want to invest your points into Vanquisher category and spend your first 5 points into damage node, then spend your 6 point into the zeal node, and then from here stay tuned because I will make a specific video on what you want to do for your endgame barbarian build. So then lastly, let's go over a few tips and tricks that will help you out as a barbarian. So for you to move faster around the map, feel free to use Sprint and Wrath of the Berserker. Then remember that your best AoE abilities are the Whirlwind and Hammer of the Ancients, so keep on using them right after you group up all the enemies. Then don't forget to turn auto pickup in general settings, so you would be able to pick up everything from the ground. And then once in a while you can come back to the town and salvage everything. Then as well, like I mentioned, keep on upgrading your gear as often as possible, because this will help you out in clearing faster dungeons. And then lastly and most importantly, when you reach level 60, don't forget to come back to my channel to find the best endgame barbarian build, and that's about it. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or other good Diablo Immortal classes that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I will catch you in my next video. So take it easy, peace.